welcome to another day in the barn. This should be a quick video. My power keeps getting discharged out of my battery on my 800 RZR. So I'm going to put a disconnect switch in for the winch because I didn't have that issue till I put the winch in. I wired it like it's supposed to be wired, but for some reason it keeps sucking it down. So I'm going to put in a disconnect switch so that it'll, if I need it, it's hooked up already. If you look down here, there's two wires that aren't connected to my battery. Those come off of my winch. Can't say winch. Come off my winch, so I got them disconnected because, like I said, they keep drawing the battery down. And if I ever need to use it, I want to be able to just push the button and go. So I'm going to connect a toggle switch on the dash. I'll take the negative from the battery, run to the negative of the toggle switch. I got a three position switch, but I'm just going to run the other end that goes to the winch out to the bottom of the switch, so that I can just flip it. Excuse me, I'm going to wire it to the top of the switch, so when I flip the switch down, it connects the negative or the ground, and then I'll have power to my winch. So this is the switch I'm using right here. You can see it's got 3 prongs in it, like I was saying. If you flip it down to the on position, it's going to connect the negative through this center post and then to the battery. If I were to connect the other side, I would have to flip the switch up, and then it would go from my negative post to the winch to give me power. And the center is off. A lot of people probably seen these in race cars or some other kind of LED switch. You could hook 2 different things to it if you wanted to. Have something over here going, say some lights over here and some lights over here, and you could turn on one set or the other set. But we're just going to do it like I said. We're going to attach the negative cable to the winch here. So when we pull down on the switch, it's going to activate the winch. I was going to do it the other way, but I figured it might get bumped this way and it'd get activated all the time. So we're going to go in a down position. Alright, I got a piece of number 4 cable. It's pretty big, so I won't have no problem with the amount of power going through there. I'm going to cut my negative cable that comes from the battery, put a butt connector on here, and heat shrink a wrap around it so that it'll be nice and watertight, like I did up here on this lug up here. So I already drilled a 1/2-inch hole in the dash to put this switch in, so I'm going to go ahead and install the switch and decide where at I want to cut my wire. So what I did is I felt behind the dash, see if there was anything here. There wasn't. It's right beside the 12-volt accessory, or in my case the cigarette lighter. So that's where I decided to put my switch at, right there. That way it's in the center of the buggy. So my wire runs down underneath the center console and over to my battery. So I figured that'd be the best, easiest place to put it. It's right on the dash, be pretty equal with the rest of them. So all you gotta do is slip your switch up through the hole. Get up through there as far as it'll go. Put your little plate on here that says on and off. And put the nut on the top to secure it. Might be a pain in the butt to get it started. Don't want to cross thread it. Doggone it. Make all these things too small for my fat fingers. Let me just turn the nut over and see if that helps me any. Keeps wanting to cross thread on me because my fingers are too fat. Wish one of my grandkids were here, their tiny fingers, to get this thing started for me. Well, when I said this was going to be a short video, I wasn't expecting to take an hour to put a nut on here. So you put the switch in the hole, put the plate over the top, it says on one side, on the other side. Take your nut, slide it over the switch, and try to get it started. Holy cow. Yay, I did it. Wow, what a pain in the butt that was. Alright, now I got it where I want it. I'm going to hold it, make sure I hold it straight so I can tighten up this nut to hold it. Okay, now I got that in. I'm going to look and see where I want to cut my wire at. Alright, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut the negative wire right here where it comes out of the box for my remote control. I'm going to cut it down here near the bottom because this wire is long enough to put a butt connector in here, and then I can just take this wire, put a lug on it, and run it up to the switch. So that's what I'm going to do now. Good luck to me. Hopefully I got a lug big enough for it. Okay, so I'm cutting this wire right here, and once I cut it, there's no going back. Let's see, is that enough? Let's go a little bit higher. Let's cut it right there. There, it's cut. No going back now. Time to strip that down. You gonna mow Dad's yard? Yeah. I just did.
Oh, you did finish that part?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Go through the hole.
That's in the basement. I'll be in the basement.
Okay, baby. I'll be right here for a minute. So I'm gonna run this wire through here. Perfect. That's gonna go right there. Cut this piece off. Right about here. Give me a little slack. There, looks good. That's too much. First thing I'm going to do is slide my heat shrink over it. Slide my butt connector on here. Give it a squeeze. Work great. I think I brought this over. Put the crimp on it. That's a pretty good crimp. I'll give her a little more though. About there. Yeah, that's good. And put the other end in. Get a nice crimp. Pull, it ain't coming out. Slide my heat shrink over it. Hopefully it's big enough. Should be, for Pete's sake. There we go. And when I get ready to do the other one, I'll bring the heat gun over here and hit them both at the same time. Alright. That one. Whoops, I cut it instead of stripping it. Hope it ain't too short. one of them smaller connectors I got will fit that instead of that huge one I just bought. Alright, so as you can see, I slid this one in, forgot to put my heat shrink on it. I think this should be big enough to go over the whole thing. Yeah. Might not be after I crimp it, but we'll see. I'm gonna need a bigger set of crimpers. Longer handle. It's kind of crimped and kind of not. Hola! No. Working on my razor. I finished all the other stuff and I decided I would put a disconnect switch for the winch because it kept, after I put that winch in, the battery kept running down, so I'm putting a switch in it, so all I gotta do is flip the switch and have power to it. Just in case you ever get stuck and I have to get you out again. Well, so do I, and it's got synthetic rope on it. It's been on there for 2 years now, ain't never been used. Well, I'm gonna make sure this thing's crimped. Got this old railroad tie that my dad got years and years ago when he worked for the railroad. They use for an anvil all the time. And we'll give it a whack. There's no doubt that it's crimped now. And we'll just put this heat shrink on here, and it ain't gonna come apart anyway. Almost flattened her out too much to get that heat shrink up around there. Well, I didn't pull it off, so I guess it's good. Alright, let's shrink her up. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Hit this one down here. Nice and watertight. So what's the best thing to do? Take this back off, drop it down where I get to it, screw it on the side I want it on, put the switch back in. That's a smart thing to do. That's what I'm gonna do. Oddly enough, my brother-in-law just called and asked if I wanted to go riding on Sunday. So I guess I'm gonna go riding on Sunday, see if this seat belt does its job. Ah, darn it. I just dropped my dang bolt all the way down in the bottom underneath. I just got done strapping the battery down. Why did I do that? I just hooked the black to the positive, and yeah, that was smart. Hooked the negative and the positive together. Let's try it the other way. Oh, now I just dropped that piece. I guess I'll pull the battery out. Just connect that and that. That's great. Well, luckily for me. All right. See if we can do this right now. Negative to negative. And positive to positive. That's a smart move. Down a little bit here. Down a little bit there. Better right there. Only thing left to do now is test it. Free spool is great for never having used it. Don't work. Of course, the switch is off. Let's try this. Still don't work. Oh, down, that's what I said, yep. Keys off. You can probably hear it. But as you can see, perfect. Turn the switch off. Nothing. Just the way I wanted it. All right. I don't know if it was a short video or not. I'll find out, I guess, when I look at it before I put it up. But thank you guys for watching, and until next time, when I'll be in the barn.